Check, check, check. Few more moments we get into the stream, you know what I'm saying? I'm a little late, but I'm here though. See? I think we got good audio and all that activity. All right, man. Let's get this started. You already know what it is, man. It's your boy. Actually, let's back it up. If you haven't been with it, you haven't been with us before, welcome in. This is the Hoopsicle Podcast, where we get the scoop on the hoop. That's right, the scoop on the hoop. And I'm the ghetto paletero, Esco. That's right. I'm in the building, the host. And I'm here to bring the news to you guys live and direct in the basketball world in general areas of that nature. You know what I'm saying? But check it out. If you guys are joining us, man, make sure you guys follow me. Go ahead and drop a comment, drop a like, whatever you guys got going on, man. Tune in, man. We're about to talk basketball, man. Indiana Pacers have lost their second home game, right? Pardon me, I'm a little parched and such. Anyways, the Pacers fell victim to Al-Shaida. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Incredible fourth quarter. And I'm not here to, look, I'm not one to talk about the refereeing and all that. I know you're in the difficult position as a ref and a human being to be able to navigate these waters of the playoffs. But I will say this. The fouls were not consistent throughout that game. I mean, let's just be frank, right? And like I said, I don't know if you guys think, I mean, it didn't come down to the whistle, right? But let me see something real quick. How do I? Let's see what we got. Never mind. I'm just trying to get this. Let me get this going before I go ahead and get into my spiel right quick. You know what I'm saying? All right, it's not gonna work. Anyways. All right. So Pacers had 2 home games. They lost the second one. Now, I did start off this series saying Pacers will win in 6. And I could be wrong. However, the way that the dominoes have fallen, I'm still sticking with that prediction. Let me tell you why. This is what's going on. I think Tyrese Haliburton IQ is through the roof when it comes to the game, right? You seen him when he had to adjust his game after game 2, right? Came back, did what he had to do, scored, I think, 15 points in the first quarter, right? Of course, they're at home. Of course, they had role players, Benedict Mathurin, big math, multiplication and things, right? Big math came through and dropped 22 on him. So I'm not going to say that, I mean, TJ McConnell was going crazy. Inbound steals and all that. Incredible performance, right? These are the little details, man. The little details. I think he got like 8 points off of inbound steals. Incredible, right? On top of that, I feel like the OKC Thunder's first away game in the finals, of course, there's tendencies to be nervous and things and be off rhythm and then maybe not necessarily be able to come through and dominate that the way they're supposed to, right? I will say this, though. I predicted they were going to split these 2 games. right? They were going to split the two. I had a feeling they were going to split it. I mean, it's OKC Thunder, right? But I think because of the split and because it was their last game in Indiana before they got to go back to OKC, I think you're going to get the best version of the Pacers, which is back against the wall away Pacers. They're better away. Don't care what nobody says. They are a better away team than they are a home team, right? No disrespect to Gainbridge Arena and all that. No disrespect to the Pacers fans. I'm just saying certain teams got that, that chip on their shoulder, and they like to wear it like a boulder when they go away, And the Pacers, I believe their best version of themselves is the away version back against the wall. Never been there. There is no way to get back out of this. If you let the Thunder take a back-to-back, the momentum shifts. Now you're playing catch-up, and now you're trying to get it to a Game 7. This is the thing. I think psychologically this is the thing. I think human nature would be, and I'm not trying to downplay, athletes and their competitive nature and all that. I'm just trying to say, like, this has to be somewhat of a human nature. You got to understand, it's reality, right? If the Pacers go, they're back against the wall because they know that if they go down, they got to play catch up. That's not the game that they want to play. The way that they steal these series on these better teams was by getting up one on them in the beginning and then being able to close them out quick, fast, and in a hurry. Don't even let it go to Game 7. You don't want that has to be best version OKC Thunder, right? Just like how the Pacers is going to be this bounce back away game is going to be their best game of the series. This is going to be, I predict it's going to be an iconic game for them. This is going to cement a lot of legacies and remove a lot of the media nonsense and just the general consensus of the fact that the Pacers are not a good team or not a legitimate good team. Because the way that people talk about them, man, they definitely disrespect them. The way that everybody was talking about the gap between the Pacers and the Thunder, nobody had it even going this far. Nobody had them going in Game 1, right? The odds and all that, it was crazy. So I think if they can win this game, not only are they winning the championship, because I think they're going to go back to Indiana after that for a Game 6 in their home, and then that's when they're going to be able to close it out. Because I think the entire momentum is good. The pressure is going to be too much on OKC Thunder, right? And I think in the back of their mind, they're thinking tomorrow, even if they lose tomorrow, you still got a Game 7. They believe that they could win on the road, right? Because they feel like the Game 7 home court advantage has to feel like some sort of security, because you can always feel like if we can just get this one more game, we could just squeeze out this one more win, we'll take it back home, and then it'll be final Game 7. Momentum will be completely on the team side, right? But that's why this game is going to be so pivotal, because if they can steal this one in OKC, you might be able to creep in on them a little bit with that mentality that they might have. Because OKC Thunder is known to play with their food, man. And I'm not saying that they're in the finals and they're going to lack any type of aggression or anything like that. I'm just saying when push come to shove and the palms get sweaty, knees in a shirt full of mouth spaghetti, they're going to fall back to not game-winning basketball habits. That's what happens with a lot of teams that lack poise. I don't really understand what poise meant. People be saying that in the basketball game. Man, they got a lot of poise, right? But I be learning. I be seeing and watching and thinking and hearing. So that's what I mean. That's what they mean by poise, Like, I feel like if you lack poise as a basketball team, the closer the game gets, the sloppy. I don't even want to say sloppy because it doesn't even have to be necessarily a turnover, right? But I just think that, for example, the way that the Pacers lacked poise in their last game is that they got away from moving the ball in the fourth quarter. When Shea was getting hot and he was getting those ridiculous calls, right? They were starting to panic and they started to either take not necessarily bad shots, because they're putting defense up. You're not gonna get like a wide open shot, but I just feel like the timing and the rhythm of it was working for them at a certain pace in the game. And towards the end, it just felt off. It didn't feel like they were getting the passes that they wanted at the right time to be able to get a little bit of space. It just felt like they were rushing them because it was slipping away from their hands at home. You know? So I feel like poise is when you don't lose your identity as a team. Right? Like on the opposite side, the OKC Thunder showed a lot of poise because they did what they were supposed to do. They had their role players pick their roles. Pick their shots accordingly. And when Shea was hot, you feed him the ball and you let him go to work. And it's worked for them so far in this entire playoffs and everything. They go wherever Shea goes, right? Chet Holmgren is not getting those calls and not hitting those buckets the way that Shea will the way that he got hot in the fourth quarter, right? So the way I see it is, best version Pacers are sneaky good because they might not even lead the game again for another. It might even be an overtime win. It might even be a blown call, or it's going to be an ugly win if the Pacers win tomorrow, right? It's going to be an ugly win because I think it might even be a blown call, maybe a foot on the three. They hit that and they miss it and they're down by, you know what I mean? It could be something like that. Something real simple. It's not going to be no blowout. I think it's going to be a good game, and I think that Pacers sneak one off, and because of that, they ride high on momentum. They go back to Indiana at home, knowing that they can close it out. They don't have no other option to close it out there. They go to OKC after that, they're losing the finals. You know what I'm saying? So I think the scenario plays out like that. I could be wrong, but that's my thoughts. So y'all let me know. Drop a comment. You know what I'm saying? Tell me what y'all thinking. Am I crazy? It's the Pacers, dog. They got away from that. That fourth quarter was it was too rushed. It was no tempo to it, right? It wasn't at their pace. They should have just played it at their pace and not try to rush the extra pass or not necessarily. Even Tyrese Haliburton looked like he could have took a couple shots with a couple hands in their face, but it wouldn't have been amazingly close to where they were going to block you or something like that. You know what I mean? It was just maybe a more contested shot that he could have took to be able to close that out. And the fact that he missed those opportunities, and it didn't even look like Miles Turner was looking to get an extra pass off before actually shooting it. Maybe you just needed to tighten up the passes a little bit more, maybe one less pass per possession, and maybe just do it that way if you feel like you had another sense of urgency. But it felt like it was going away. And I feel like they didn't really have an identity at the end of that. They didn't know who was going to shoot the ball. So, who knows? But anyways, in other news, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander dad is out here tripping. That's right, SGA, senior. Matter of fact, nah, that's not his name though. What was his name? It was. Let me get this real quick and correct real fast. Vaughn Alexander, I think what it was. Vaughn Alexander. Let me just triple check, man. Yeah, Vaughn Alexander. BA out here tripping, man. Jeff T podcast, he was up there, just talking the talk and just having fun, cracking jokes or whatever, man. He's like, I got the clip on my TikTok right now if y'all want to check it out. But he said, man, they was talking about how Jeff T don't got no kids and stuff like that, right? And he was talking about like, yeah, man, I'm just, I'm saving my greatness, whatever. He said, hey, man, you should just give me your girl. I'll breed her. I'll give her the genes. I'll give her the MVP genes. He's like, hey, bro, I'll go ahead, raise him. I'll train him up, make another MVP. Don't even worry about it. This guy think he a breeder. He think he got that MVP squeeze. Hey, yo, VA, you out here tripping, dog. He think he got the MVP squeeze. You crazy, boy. Yeah, that's crazy. But he was he was up there tripping, man. Which got me thinking, bro. Got me thinking. And I'm going to report this out to the world, man. Hopefully, nobody steals my ideas. Y'all give me credit. But even if they do steal it, they won't do it like how I do it. So even if y'all steal it, it ain't going to be as good as what it can be. Y'all just come get with the creator, the originator. You know what I'm saying? The ghetto paletero. You know what I mean? The ice cream man. scoop on the Hoopsicle Podcast. You already know, man. Y'all like it, subscribe, and all that. Anyways, let me tell y'all something right now. We need to have some sort of podcast, right? They need to make a podcast where it's either hosted. I mean, it could be just hosted by whoever, but it would be cool to have a host like this. But the theme would be like a father-son duo podcast, right? So either a father-son duo host the podcast, or they just, they're interviewing, basketball parents or like former NBA players and their sons, or at the same time or at separate times or whatever, and just having, just like conversations about that, you know what I mean? What it was like. I want to know the stories about, taking the trips or maybe taking the trips to the basketball camps, or maybe the parents not having enough money, but having to bust a move and make a hustle play to try to get them into that basketball camp that later on turned into this crazy career that in this life that they live in now. You know what I mean? Like they got to be a lot of, like the Giannis story is crazy with his pops and all that, and just him leaving and having to move from different country as like the refugee and all that. Man, at one point, man, they had this Giannis sneaker where they would it was paying tribute to the fact that he used to borrow, the Giannis brothers used to borrow the same sneakers to hoop, you know what I mean? And it's just like stories like that coming from the father's point of view and speaking about their son, and and just like the ins and outs of him growing up and becoming that driven person, because he's super driven to be in the NBA, right? Them type of stories, man, listen, it'll be emotional. It'll be comedy. If you can get them on as a duo, that would be comedy. Imagine Rick Brunson and Jalen Brunson on the same. Come on, man. That'd be hard. I'm trying to tell you. You get, and then the little skits and the little games and the little, you know what I mean, questionnaires and, hey, can you name me this, name me that? The old versus young type of theme. But could you imagine LeVar Ball up there with all three of his sons on a podcast like that? That's a mega smash hit. All three of them. I don't care what you say. They got their own podcast. They doing this and that. No. You put them in my world. We produce something like that and we can get that cracking. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I got names and all that in the tuck. Might have to get that done. That would be crazy if you think about it. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, man, that'd be comedy. Man, you bring him on there, man. You had just the chemistry that a father and the son are going to have just by living with each other, and just obviously the father raising the kid and just the connection they have, man, the kind of chemistry and the moments that you'll get, man, straight comedy. You already know. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander dad would be hilarious on that, man. You get Tyrese Haliburton dad on there. Man, you can even get them both. You getting even both on there at the same time. You get, if you can get multiple NBA dads in the same room pumping up their kids that are currently in the NBA, which obviously, you know what I mean? That would be fire, bro. Think about the debate moments and the shit talking that you would have. Insane. Craziness. I'm trying to tell you. Be crazy. But, like I said, shout out VA. Vaughn Alexander, man, out there talking crazy. Hilarious, though. Man, I'm telling you, the Jeff Teague podcast is lit. Y'all got to check out the Jeff Teague podcast if y'all ain't checked it out yet, you know what I mean? But, like I said, oh yeah, you got potential on potential as far as guests, you know what I mean? Kenyon Martin Jr. and Kenyon Martin Sr., Gary Payton, Doc Rivers, Austin Rivers, Dell Curry, Steph Curry, and Seth Curry. Let's not disrespect Seth Curry, too. Like I'm saying, man, look, I ain't even got to go down that alley, man, because y'all already know, like I said, it'd be fire. That's all y'all got to know, is it would be fire. Let me see what else we got, man. We got skits and all that stuff coming up, too. Hey, man, we're gonna, let me see, matter of fact. We're gonna do some topics off the internet. We're gonna see what we got going on. I got segments and all that, too. Matter of fact, before we get into all that, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Let's talk about y'all boy, man. Your boy Sauce. Stephen A. Smith. I heard wildin'. Because this guy is he out there watching Solitaire, man. Your boy Stephen A is out there playing Solitaire at the NBA Finals. Now I understand the concept of I am just at a job and I'm doing whatever I gotta do, man. But so the internet's mad about this, right? Stephen A. Let me see if I can pull it up. Yeah, man, this is crazy. This is like I don't know, man. I can't find a picture. I'll put it up in the final draft of the show, right? Stephen A. Smith out there playing Solitaire in the middle of the NBA Finals. Now, to be fair, he did say, "Hey, I'm multitasking. Oh my God, how could you imagine?" Like he was basically firing back at everybody, all the internet talk of like, "Hey man, you be talking crazy about players. You be dissecting the game and having these takes that are basically talking crazy about players is what the opinion is on the internet, and you don't even watch the games." Basically, is what the thoughts of the internet are, right? Stephen A. Smith talking about, well, I'm just multitasking at my job and I'm good at what I do, and that's why I'm able to do this and still have these opinions, right? In a more Stephen A. Smith way, in a tweet way, right? And because of that, internet is mad, right? And let me tell you something right now. This is the real question. I completely understand that thought process of like, hey man, look, it's not that serious. Like I do this all the time. Like as far as being at live games, being around players, like I've been doing this for 25 years or whatever, and all this and that, and this and that, and this and that, right? But I will say this. Two things. I believe one is disrespectful to the players, man. It's disrespectful to the players, man. It's like imagine Joe Rogan at a fight and he's like playing Solitaire on his phone while, you know what I mean, like the match is going on. And then he's interviewing people after the game. Stephen A. Smith is doing the halftime show. He doing the pregame and the after game commentary. So the fact that you ain't even like really tapping in is crazy. That's first of all. Second of all, unprofessionalism. Let's call it what it is. Unprofessionalism. Because you say what you want to say. You doing your thing, right? Who are we to say you got away with whatever you got away with? And not saying you got away with it, but I'm just saying you put in your hours in the craft and all that. Ain't nobody down in your craft. They just don't like how Stephen A. Smith got an answer for everything and is always trying to downplay his incorrect side, right? Like, I just been like, I think it would have been funny if you just made it like, whoops, y'all got me, you know? I'll tell you what is funny, though. The fact that he's playing Solitaire. How you play Solitaire on your phone, first of all? How little or how big is that phone? And how little are those rows for you to be, like, moving them around like that? That's first of all. Second of all, what is he using, a stylus? If Stephen A. Smith is playing Solitaire with a stylus, I don't know what I'm going to be doing, bro. 2025 is weird. Solitaire is weird. Like, I think he's just getting old, bro. Like, Solitaire? Really? That's insane. That's like a stock game that comes with a computer. That's like you could play that at the demo. You just go to Best Buy, pull up any random computer right there on the floor and just get down with Solitaire. That's crazy. I wonder if he got a final version or if he got a free version. If he got the free version with the ads, Stephen A. Smith playing that during the NBA Finals, bro, I don't know how that's not disrespectful. I really don't understand it. But, I don't know, man. I feel like people are just kind of internet makes something out of nothing all the time and makes friends with stories and stuff. But it is kind of funny, though, how he got caught playing Solitaire. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, man, that's just me. Let's see what we got going on, man. I feel like we've been cooking for a little while. So guess what? We'll just go ahead and wrap it up with this. internet surfing section, where we get the scoop on what's happening online, right? With the internet vibes in the basketball world. All right, so let's see what we got going on. I'm trying to see if we can find some stuff. Oh yeah. There we go. Here we go. Michael Beasley. Mike Beasley going crazy on Dwight Howard in the Big Three. Now, I said it once before, and I'll say it again. Mike Beasley is a basketball psychopath, right? He's just out here tripping. Listen to what we're in back. He's just out here tripping. I will put up the post of what he was talking about again, but I mean, when I tell you this guy, the way he talk about basketball is insane. The way he talk about, you know what? I'll just post it up. Y'all check it out. Y'all hop on my TikTok and see what he said last about the Lance Stevenson, you know what I mean, craziness. There go that. Quick reaction is Michael Beasley is a psycho, and he out there cooking, and I feel like we need to get him more 1v1s and just bring the 1v1 league back. Make it already. Y'all got to stop doing this. But I like the spirit. This is what's going to get it there. I guarantee you. People like Mike Beasley talking crazy, talking about I'm taking all smoke, money, cash on the table. Yeah, I like it. Next. Oh, yeah. These memes is crazy. The Magic are trading for 4 first-round picks for Desmond Bane. Yeah, that's crazy, insane. Some of these memes are really good. Sham telling us that KD is getting traded soon, so every time we get a notification, we think it's KD. Yeah, that's facts. Facts. Stop playing with me. Coming to the Clippers. Anyways, NBA teams passing around the Suns pick is funny. Like great. Magic fans watching their front office finally locking in to make moves, and they just levitating out the world. That's hilarious. The Grizzlies describing KCP. Some of these you need a little audio, so I ain't got no audio on that. Oh yeah, check this out, man. Y'all remember NBA Ballers? Insane. The rarest game on Xbox, apparently. That was at Goodwill for $7 when it's going online for. You got the hit right there. Y'all check your Goodwills, man. Apparently these are going for like, oh my God, $7.99 is insane. Y'all better start digging in your closet. Oh yeah, Boogie Cousins crazy, bro. He out there, yeah, which is crazy. Look, the fan is crazy, bro. You can't be smacking, bro. Nah. I'm rocking with Boogie on this one. Can't do that as the fans, bro. You can't do that as the fans. You can boo him all you want, bro. You start flipping them off in his face. This is too much, bro. It's too much. And Boogie Cousins ain't the one, I'm trying to tell you. Okay, last little spot. They saying that the Rockets bringing back the astronaut. See if I can get that. The astronaut. What is it called again? The dunkstronaut. I like that. The dunkstronaut is hard. The dunkstronaut coming back in the middle of the court, man. But that's pretty much it, man. Like quick takes, like I said. Just real fast. Just trying to get y'all some information out there from the internet world. Anyways, thanks for rocking with me. It's your boy Esco, man. We're going to get the final cut version of this uploaded soon enough, man. Appreciate y'all rocking with the live stream, man. I'm going to see y'all next time. Right? I hope so. Make sure y'all like and subscribe.